They laughed at us. To the alien soldiers of the Sci-Fi Dominion, humans were a primitive species, a footnote in the galactic archives. Around their barracks, stories of Earth's warriors were shared as jokes. Myths like Hercules, Achilles, and even modern legends like Rambo and the Navy SEALs, all dismissed as exaggerated fantasies of a warlike but weak race. They couldn't believe we ever fought wars without Neuralink targeting, zero-point armor, or orbital strike support. Spears, guns, swords, hilarious. Until General Corinth arrived. A Sci-Fi war hero, revered across 10 star systems, he entered the room and silenced the laughter with a glare sharper than a photon blade. He didn't speak immediately. He sat, his cybernetic eye scanning the room like a predator measuring prey. Then he told them the story of the Battle of Vireon-IV, and the human unit that held the line against impossible odds. He told them about Captain Elias Ward, a man with no augmentation, no shields, no drones, just grit, strategy, and the will to protect. Corinth watched that man charge into fire to save alien lives. He saw him defy the laws of survival and redefine the meaning of bravery. Corinth, the war hero of a galactic empire, saluted a human that day. The room went silent. No one laughed at human myths again. If that gave you chills, you're in for more epic human versus galaxy stories. Don't forget to like the video, comment your favorite HFY moment, subscribe for weekly HFY stories, share this with a fellow sci-fi nerd. Welcome back to another best HFY story, where humanity proves time and again that we're the wild card of the universe. In today's epic tale, we dive into the mindset of alien warriors who mock Earth's ancient and modern warriors, laughing at our swords, bullets, and war legends. To them, war is fought with advanced AIs and gravity bombs. The idea of humans charging into battle with only steel, sweat, and raw courage? Laughable. Until one of their greatest heroes, General Corinth, a decorated Sci-Fi tactician and war legend, steps in to tell them a different story. This isn't just about a battle. It's about a moment when an elite alien war commander was humbled by a human's courage. It's about the day that myths became real. It's about respect earned in fire and blood. HFY stories like these highlight what makes humans terrifyingly unique: our refusal to give up, our unpredictable tactics, and our ability to inspire even the most hardened veterans of alien wars. So buckle up. This isn't just science fiction. It's a tribute to humanity's indomitable spirit, viewed through the eyes of those who once mocked us. The barracks of Outpost Zeta 9 buzzed with laughter, the kind that carried arrogance rather than joy. A group of young Sci-Fi soldiers, tall and sinewy with skin that shimmered like obsidian under the artificial lights, lounged in the common hall. Holograms flickered above them, cycling through various cultural archives from across the galaxy. One by one, scenes from Earth's war history played: ancient Greek phalanxes, medieval knights in iron armor, trench warfare from the world wars, and even modern footage of tactical operations from Earth's elite forces. Every clip was met with scoffs. "Is that a sharpened stick?" one of the soldiers snorted, pointing at a Spartan warrior thrusting a spear. "They went to battle like this?" another burst out laughing, mimicking the motion. "They wore metal plates instead of energy shields. How did they survive more than a minute?" The laughter grew louder when the feed showed a World War II tank grinding through mud, flanked by infantry. "They actually sat inside steel boxes and fired explosive shells by chemical reaction," a female Sci-Fi sneered. "No targeting systems, no AI support. These humans were either brave or completely mad. They tell stories of warriors with names like Rambo, John Wick, even Batman," another added, barely able to contain his laughter. "Their myths are as wild as their weapons are outdated." They were mocking Earth's history, not out of malice, but from genuine disbelief. How could a species so biologically frail and technologically behind ever have survived the brutal march of war? One soldier tapped on the controls and brought up a dramatic reenactment of the legend of Achilles. "See this?" he grinned. "Invincible except for his heel?" Humans built entire war myths around body parts. The others roared with laughter. To them, it was comedy. A primitive species writing warrior legends as if sheer willpower could overcome plasma rounds and nanotech armor. But the mood shifted instantly when the doors hissed open and a deep, metallic voice cut through the mirth. "You mock what you do not understand." General Corinth had entered the room, and not a single soldier dared to laugh again. The doors to the barracks slid open with a low hydraulic hiss, and the atmosphere shifted instantly. Conversations died mid-sentence, laughter caught in throats, and every soldier instinctively straightened their posture. Standing in the doorway was General Corinth, the iron strategist of the Sci-Fi Dominion, a living legend draped in dark combat armor that still bore the scarring of dozens of campaigns. His presence alone was a silence more commanding than any shout. The glowing red of his cybernetic eye swept across the room like a targeting laser, and no one dared meet it for more than a moment. He didn't speak at first. He walked slowly into the center of the barracks, the only sound the low thud of his boots against the metal floor. He passed by the paused holograms of Earth's warriors, the Greeks, the knights, the soldiers of Earth's past, and looked at them not with mockery, but with something the young soldiers couldn't quite place. Respect? No, it was heavier than that. It was remembrance. You mock what you do not understand, he repeated, louder this time. His voice was low and hard, like a boulder grinding against metal. You sit here, cushioned by your tech, spoiled by AI, never having fought a battle without orbital recon or quantum armor, and yet you laugh at them. He pointed to the image of a human soldier, dirty, tired, carrying another wounded man on his back. I once fought beside such a man, Karent said, and I have never feared more for my life, or been more honored to share a battlefield. The room remained silent, stunned. Karent stepped forward, folding his arms behind his back. It was the Battle of Vireon-IV. Our line had collapsed. Command abandoned us. Reinforcements were light years away, and we, the Dominion's finest, were losing. He paused, letting the weight of the memory fill the space. And then came the humans. A ripple of disbelief passed through the crowd, but no one dared speak. Karent continued, his tone now edged with something deeper. They weren't supposed to be there. They weren't even part of the campaign. But one unit of baseline, unmodified human infantry, answered our distress beacon. No shields, no drones, no cybernetic upgrades, just grit, ancient weapons, and a leader named Captain Elias Ward. He turned to face the soldiers directly, his eye gleaming with intensity. You laugh at their myths because they sound impossible. I stood beside a human who was a myth, and I watched him turn certain death into a victory that saved us all. Not a single soldier moved. The room that once echoed with laughter now held its breath. Karent looked around one last time and growled, if you're ready to listen, I'll tell you the story of how a human taught me the true meaning of courage. And with that, the legend of Captain Elias Ward began. The Battle of Vireon-IV was supposed to be a routine engagement, just another skirmish in the sprawling conflict between the Sci-Fi Dominion and the rebellious Virith coalition. But what unfolded on that barren, rocky world was anything but routine. The Dominion forces had established a forward base to secure a strategic outpost, guarding a vital warp gate that controlled supply lines to several allied systems. Yet despite the advantage of superior technology and overwhelming firepower, the Virith launched a surprise assault that shattered the Dominion's defensive lines. Chaos consumed the battlefield. Communications were scrambled, reinforcements delayed by a system-wide ambush, and the once confident Dominion soldiers found themselves trapped under relentless enemy fire. The terrain, jagged and unforgiving, offered little cover. Enemy units swarmed from all sides, supported by heavy mech units and orbital strikes. The Dominion's advanced shields flickered and failed as the assault intensified. For hours, it seemed the entire force would be annihilated. Amid this desperation, a signal flickered weakly through the Dominion's damaged comm network, a distress call sent out to any allies nearby. What no one expected was the reply. From the outer sectors came an unlikely answer. A small unit of unaugmented humans, barely armed by Sci-Fi standards, arriving in battered dropships. Captain Elias Ward led that unit. He was an ordinary man by galactic standards. No cybernetic enhancements, no experimental weaponry, just a soldier with a weathered rifle, a battered helmet, and a will forged in the fires of countless battles back on Earth. Yet where the Dominion forces were overwhelmed by technology's failure and sheer numbers, Ward's team brought something far more potent. Relentless determination and tactical genius born from fighting against impossible odds on their own war-torn planet. Ward didn't wait for orders. He assessed the battlefield with cold precision, repositioning his squad in the face of fire, rallying scattered Dominion units, and executing daring counterattacks that disrupted the enemy's momentum. Where others saw defeat, he saw opportunity. His leadership turned the tide of battle, buying time for reinforcements and forcing the Virith to retreat. This was no myth. This was a human. A man who, without armor or AI, stared down annihilation and refused to fall. Captain Elias Ward became a symbol, not just to the humans who fought beside him, but to an entire empire that once laughed at Earth's warriors. Captain Elias Ward's heroism on Vireon-IV wasn't the stuff of legends because of fancy weapons or high-tech gadgets. He had none of those. It was his raw bravery and unyielding tactical brilliance that changed the course of the battle. Faced with overwhelming enemy numbers and dwindling Dominion forces, Ward refused to succumb to despair. Instead, he drew from every scrap of training and experience Earth's harshest wars had instilled in him. He moved through the battlefield like a ghost, leading small squads and lightning-fast strikes that disoriented the Virith attackers. His strategy was simple yet brutally effective. Hit hard, hit where the enemy least expected, and vanish before the enemy could mount a counterattack. Ward's leadership inspired the mixed group of humans and aliens alike. His voice was calm but commanding, cutting through the chaos to give hope to soldiers who thought all was lost. At one critical moment, when a group of Dominion infantry was pinned down and surrounded, Ward didn't hesitate. Against impossible odds, he led a daring rescue, charging directly into enemy fire to pull his comrades to safety. His squad fought with a ferocity that caught the Vireon off guard, raw courage amplified by sheer willpower. It was not just a fight for survival but a fight to protect lives, regardless of species or origin. Ward's actions saved countless alien soldiers that day. The Dominion forces, once dismissive of human myths, watched in awe as this unaugmented man held the line and turned defeat into a hard-won victory. For General Corinth and his troops, the image of Ward charging through plasma fire, rallying broken squads, and standing firm when all seemed lost, shattered their preconceived notions of humanity. From that moment forward, the laughter died. Respect replaced ridicule. Human soldiers were no longer seen as primitive relics of a bygone era but as unpredictable, relentless warriors whose courage could alter the fate of entire star systems. Captain Elias Ward didn't just fight a battle. He rewrote the story of what it meant to be a hero in the galaxy. When the smoke finally cleared over Vireon-IV, the true impact of Captain Elias Ward's actions rippled far beyond the battlefield. General Corinth, who had witnessed firsthand the humans' indomitable spirit and tactical genius, found his own beliefs profoundly shaken. The scoffs and jokes about humanity were replaced by a deep, grudging respect. Ward's courage had forced Corinth, and through him, the entire Sci-Fi Dominion, to confront a truth they had long denied. Humans were not the primitive, laughable species they had assumed, but fierce warriors capable of remarkable bravery and resilience. Corinth carried this newfound respect back to the halls of command and the ranks of the Dominion. Stories of Ward's heroism spread quickly, retold not as myths or fairy tales but as undeniable fact. Human soldiers became symbols of unexpected strength, their tactics studied and, in some cases, adopted. The Dominion, known for its technological superiority and cold precision, began to acknowledge the value of human unpredictability and raw willpower, a combination that even the most advanced AI could not replicate. Beyond the Dominion, news of the battle and the human hero who saved countless alien lives reached other galactic civilizations. Where once Earth was dismissed as a backwater planet, now it was spoken of with a mixture of awe and cautious respect. Humanity's reputation transformed from weak relics of a bygone era into formidable players in the interstellar arena, a species that could not be underestimated. For Corinth, the lesson was clear and humbling. Technology alone does not win wars. It is the courage, determination, and unbreakable spirit of individuals, no matter how seemingly insignificant, that shapes history. The human myths they once mocked were not mere stories but reflections of a truth that even the most advanced empires could not ignore. From that day forward, the laughter ceased. The galaxy watched humans with new eyes, wary and respectful, forever changed by the legacy of Captain Elias Ward and the Battle of Vireon-IV. As the echoes of the Battle of Vireon-IV faded into galactic history, one undeniable truth emerged. Humanity is unlike any other species the universe has encountered. It isn't their technology, which by many measures remains rudimentary compared to alien advancements, nor is it mere physical prowess or specialized enhancements. What makes humans truly unique is their extraordinary inner strength, their capacity to persevere against overwhelming odds, to innovate on the fly, and to inspire courage in others through sheer willpower. This is the core of every HFY story, the celebration of human resilience, and the unyielding spirit that refuses to bow, no matter how impossible the challenge. Captain Elias Ward's story reminds us that myths often arise from kernels of truth, embellished over time, perhaps, but rooted in reality. In the vast cosmos, where beings wield unimaginable powers and technology, humans stand out because their greatest weapon is their heart and mind. Their legends endure because they are not just fantasy. They are lived experiences of bravery, sacrifice, and hope. This is why even the most advanced alien civilizations come to respect humanity, not for what they bring to the battlefield in machines, but for what they bring in spirit. In the end, the myths that alien soldiers once laughed at become shining examples of what is possible when determination meets opportunity. Humans don't just survive, they redefine the rules of engagement. Their stories inspire, challenge, and remind all beings that sometimes the smallest flame can ignite the brightest light in the darkest of wars. So, when you hear a tale of a human warrior facing impossible odds, remember it's not just a story. It's a celebration of the unstoppable force that is humanity. Proof that sometimes myth is simply reality waiting to be recognized. And that's the essence of HFY, humanity's unbreakable will to rise, fight, and thrive among the stars. If you love this story and want to hear more incredible tales of human courage that shake the galaxy, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for your weekly dose of HFY legends, and share it with your fellow sci-fi fans. Drop a comment below telling us which human moment inspired you the most. We love hearing your thoughts. Together, let's keep celebrating the unstoppable spirit of humanity. Stay tuned for more stories where humans prove time and again. We're the wild card no one saw coming.